Yes, greetings, blessings, everyone. Once again, you're locked in with yours truly, DJ Kat, the Kat-a-lyst. And of course, we're going to be speaking to the one and only Christie. Make sure you keep it locked in. And of course, this is the great tune, the great vibes of Fred Lux. So just say... Yeah, you good?
One word, Katrina, you good?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. What you been up to?
A lot.
I know that.
You know what I mean?
I know that.
You mean today?
Yeah, man.
I was playing basketball and I'm just chilling in my yard with my brethren now, man. Today I've just been taking it easy, car. It was sunny, man. It was too warm outside, man. I had to like go out and venture. You know what I mean?
Too warm. Too warm. What?
What I mean is, it was too warm for me not to go outside.
Oh, okay, got you now. I was gonna say, what do you mean too warm?
I woke up with bare things to do. Like, I thought to myself, I need to sort this out. I need to do that. I need to catch up with this and catch up with that. Cause I've been busy lately.
Yeah.
Been doing a lot of things. So obviously, like this week, I wanted to get back to business. Like, but obviously, so basically, what's been happening is the funeral, then my birthday, then another funeral in family, like long lost family, and then like there's been a lot going on and I haven't rested, so I got lit down with a cold or some kind of, like, I had a fever and that from Monday through to Tuesday, no, through to Wednesday, and like, so obviously I wanted to be productive this week, innit? So like I woke up and thinking to myself, yo, I want to catch up with this, I want to catch up with that. And then I looked out the window and it was like, the spirit said to me, go buy a basketball. I haven't played basketball for years. Like I haven't, like, I ain't touched the basketball like since I lived in Coventry, you know what I mean? Like, but I went and bought I bought a little cheap £5 thing and went down to, because I don't live far from Finsbury Park, innit? So I went down there. They got like a big basketball court there with like about 6 or 7 hoops. So like there was a couple. So literally today it was like I just went out and just shot some hoops by myself and came home. My brother to link me, and we're just here chilling really on a Friday night. I'm not gonna lie, I'm sipping like just a little bit, but you know what I'm saying, like that's the vibe I'm on tonight on a Friday. Still March.
Yeah.
And,
Okay. You know what though, I have to give you props, you know, because I seen the little basketball video. I thought, you know what, he's actually got some skills. But then when you missed the first shot, I was like, oh. But then you got the second one.
Yeah, but that's why I put in the caption, old Rusty, because I ain't done it like.
Yeah.
I sat down for a minute and I was watching the other guys. There was one guy because there's 2 cages in it. So on the other side, there's 3 hoops in one cage on that side. And then there's 3 hoops in the one that I was in. The one on the other side had bare people in it. And obviously, I'm not a basketball. So like, I'm not really going there to impress no one. I just want to have a little. I just want to throw the ball at the thing and like, you know, to see if I've still got some kind of techers. You get me? So there was one other guy in the same cage with me, And he was sick. Literally, he was running from one end of the thing to the other end of the thing and slam dunking it and shooting it from them sides there. So it's like I didn't like. Obviously, like, you get me. He's a stranger. I don't know him. You get me, and he don't know me. But obviously, like, you see people in your periphery, and you're like, yo, my man's sick. So like, the more I'm going hard, the more that I'm just like, yeah, I want to see if I can do it from this line. I want to see if I can do it from this far. And I got some in.
Yeah.
I got some in, man.
Okay.
At least 40,
That's good, man.
at least 46%. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's good. That's good. You know what? People are locking in. They're tuning in. You have to tell us, who is Dan Christie? Because since I've known you, you've always wanted to strive for more, strive for success. Tell the people who you are.
Dan Christie. And all right, cool. Dan Christie is my name. That's the name that you know me by, because you know I've known you for years, isn't it? But like, like, I used to go by the name Millie D when I used to do grime back in the day, and I still do grime. But I make my own music and that. But at the same time, like, I changed my whole thing. I got rid of my stage name. I was just gonna start making music under the name Dan, but I changed it. It's now the Dan, D''DAN, fam, because that's what I am. I am the Dan. You know what I'm saying? That's how you're supposed to the Dan, you get me? But I am an artist. Basically, like, that's through going through all the phases and stages of life, I've come to know and accept and embrace that Dan Christie is an artist. I've got a graphic novel about the mystical legend of Eagle Ras there. That's my first graphic that I created. That came out same year Black Panther came out. I think it's like 2018. You might be able to see artwork there in the background as well. I've got two other books as well. The two of them are part of the same thing, and they're self-published. And then I've also got music. I do animation. Like, I've done theatre. I started doing theatre at the Belgrade when I was younger. And like, you know, that is part of the reason why this book exists anyway, because like, I always wanted to make a movie, but obviously no cover, like, especially at that time, there wasn't really that kind of there wasn't really anywhere to take the idea. So when I was at theatre, I used to perform. They put me on stage, they commissioned me to do a few things, and they put me on a writing course called Critical Mass, and that's where they taught me to write scripts. So like stage scripts or whatever. And basically, I took what I learned from that and applied it to making a screenplay. And then I wrote a screenplay, but I couldn't get the screenplay made because I didn't have anything. I didn't have any help with it at the time. You get me? So look, I came up with some other characters, and I came up with the idea that, all right, you can't get the movie made, but if you can do, luckily I'm blessed, I can draw. Like, maybe do some comic books and that, and get the ideas out, and then if people lock into the comics and that, then maybe I can finally make that movie. You know what I mean? But
100%. You know what? With that now, how did you come up with these characters? Because I know you do each and every character individually. You drew Us Sisters in Dub. You did all those animations. Like, that was just dope. The amount of people that were commenting how good that was. And I wanted to know, where does that creative process, the idea, where does it all kick off for you?
It's therapy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've been through loads of different phases in my life. You know what I mean? And to be honest, even if you read Eagle Ras, if you look at Eagle Ras and you look at some of the characters, like, I called the city that he lives in Covingham, because when I was a kid, like, obviously I was in Cov, but I got a lot of family in Birmingham. So I used to spend some time in Birmingham from time to time, and basically I wanted to make a West Midlands story, but not just a story, something that's transferable to every end. But I lived in Coventry, and a lot of movies, like if you watch Kidulthood and stuff like that, a lot of the stories about, even Top Boy, a lot of the stories about what we go through in our environments is really like London. A lot of it's all London stuff, and I love that stuff. I was born in London, do you know what I mean? And I'm back, I live in London now, you know what I mean? But I wanted to put a piece of what I've seen. So like, this is Coventry, So like
Yeah.
almost all the characters that I ever create are based on either people that I know or situations that I've been into or things that I've seen. Like it's all very, it's like, it's a way of being, it's a way of sharing my personal experience without making it my personal experience.
Mm.
Do you understand?
100%.
And then
Definitely.
I also get to,
So,
when I'm doing it in the Eagle Rest way now, and I've got my characters like Marker and the kind of metaphysical kind of stuff going on, it means that I can put a little bit of where my mind was at the time, the things that I was researching about, you know, Black history and spirituality and,
yeah.
you know, like I'm very much, when I was a kid, I was obsessed with ancient Egypt. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
my mum,
Yeah.
she went out one time and she come home with this cardboard cutout of Tutankhamun, yeah, when we lived in Brixton.
Okay.
It was like a bust, you know, when you see Tutankhamun from here,
Yeah.
the famous pictures that they have of him. And she got a cardboard cutout and just planted it on the top of the fireplace in the yard. And I must have been about 5 or 6 at the time. But we
Okay.
run around, and it used to creep me out that Tutankhamun's eyes used to follow me no matter what part of the room I was in.
Yeah.
Them kind of pictures there where the eyes are so straight, it feels like
Yeah.
no matter where you are, the guy's staring
They're watching
at me.
you.
But it
Yeah.
used to creep me out. But then after a while,
Okay.
I started playing with it, and then I started getting
Okay.
used to it, and I started enjoying
Mm.
it. So like I've always kind of, even this tattoo that I got here, you see, I got the ant there.
Yeah.
Like ever since I was a youth, I've always been drawing eyes of Horuses and Anks and stuff all over my books, everywhere. Like so, you know, when I made this book, it was a chance for me to take all of what I kind of was seeing growing up and what I was going
Mm.
through, and also like, you know, different members of the community as well. Because like obviously my thing's got some crime and some shooting and rah 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 in there, but you got like your
Yeah.
aunties and your grandmas and your old man from up the road, and you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
that's what really inspires me, is what I go through and what I see and how I live and how people around me live and experience, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that was my next question. Like, who inspires you? I know your mom plays a massive influence. Like, I see the post and the love that you guys have for your mom is just deep, different. So I wanted to know who inspires you, and how does that kind of impact you when you're writing, when you're putting your stuff as a piece together? Because I know you've done shows as well.
Yeah.
So how does that kind of impact you?
How does what kind of impact me? Sorry, it's like you said a few things, but I'm not sure which one you're actually trying to make me answer, or maybe I'm tripping.
So, like, the inspirations that you get from your family in particular, how does that impact you when you're writing or you're putting a piece together?
Oh well, I grew like a lot of people, especially people from Coventry that know me. They will know that I was raised by my grandma. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stuff when I was a kid, me, my brother, and my sister we were in Brixton. Stuff happened with my mum, and then I ended up in Coventry with my nan. But like, growing up
Mm.
in your grandma's house is an interesting experience because you get it's generation. You get to see everyone. You know, like
Yeah.
so you get to hear your grandma's stories up here, and
Mm.
your uncles and your aunties and your parents are down here somewhere, and they come through grandma's yard talking about what they've been through, and then
Mm.
you're here. Then you've got older cousins and stuff underneath that talking about what they. And remember, everybody's a product.
Yeah.
So,
100%.
you know what I'm saying? And then
Yeah.
you're there somewhere now, like you're like when you're a kid as well, you're at the bottom and you're just looking
Mm.
at all of these adults having these interactions. So like for me, how it impacts me really when it comes to my family is just like the understanding of generations. Like
Yeah.
if you read, I've got a second book called The Melon Barker Scrolls. Like
Yeah.
in the first section of that, there's like a kind of mural thing where one of my characters is having a dream, and it kind of takes you
Mm.
from the plot from Africa through the
Yeah.
slave trade. Some of us landed in Jamaica, so it goes to Jamaica, and then it goes
Mm.
further back down to the ones that moved down into England. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that
Mm.
concept literally comes from the fact that I literally lived in a place where I saw all generations of my family. and everybody's story. So I know my grandma's stories from back in Jamaica. I know a few of her stories from when she first came over, and then when she first came over, you get me, like she eventually moved to Coventry with my granddad. Had my uncles who were all turned into boxers, my uncle Errol and and they became boxers because of the racism at the time. You know what I mean? Like, so he used to come in the house and tell me stories about that. And then beneath them now, they've had kids, and their kids are now, you know, second generation, 90s, late 80s. You know, they're going through what they're doing, they're raving, they're skanking, they're doing their thing. And then I'm hearing all, and then I'm coming up underneath all of them with my experience. So, like, it made me kind of think of, like, the world, even, especially, like, the black people's story, the black people's journey, in that same kind of concept. So, like, even in my books, like, I was researching a lot of ancient stuff and whatever, and, like, so basically a lot of my stories, they start in where, at the time, I thought was the beginning of black people, and how it's dropped down through years of war and years of displacement. And then, so basically, if you say that life started in Africa, then the life that I've created, like the law, it starts there, but things have happened, people have moved, and it basically go from the root to somebody that's slap bang in the middle of Coventry and doesn't know what to think about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. You know what? People are putting down fire emojis. They're saying that deep. Obviously, Sisters in Dub, we're dropping your mum's tune in London this weekend as well. So keep a lookout for that one.
That's why I've got to be there tomorrow, man. You know what? My mum was a singer when I was a baby, but I didn't really understand the levels. You get me? Like, she used to always talk to me about green sleeves. Green sleeves is basically like a performer. It's like PRS, in it. So she always used to mention that to me when I was a child. But like, as I got older, like, come to find I knew one of her tunes before because we had it on vinyl in the house, and I found the vinyl, put it on, and I was like, that sounds like my mum, you know. And then a couple years later, I was just curious on YouTube, and I found 3 of her songs. She used to perform for she used to do dub like you guys. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, she used to do dub tunes and that. For a pair of producers called Alpha and Omega Sound. And so when I was a baby, like, basically there was an album that they put out called Daniel in the Lion's Den. And when they put that out, I was like 2 years old. These times she was living in Brixton, you get me? So, you get me? When she had me, she was singing. So on the start of that album, the Alpha and Omega Daniel in the Lion's Den album, I think it's on the start of the one you're going to play tomorrow, you might hear baby crying or something at the start in the intro. That's me. You know, like,
I like that.
you get me? You know, those tunes there, my mum didn't produce them, but she wrote the lyrics. My mum's music, that's a good question, actually. My mum's music name was actually Dandelion. That's actually funny. I've never thought about that before, you know, because then she's on that album called Dan in the Lion's Den, and then she had me, and my name's Dan. There's a lot of There's a lot of lions in my story still. Maybe that's why I named my brand the way I did. But my mum, like, she was very artistic when I was a child. You know what I mean? Like, when I was a child, I weren't allowed to have a television. She used to have a sewing machine. You know, I used to draw a lot. So I've been drawing since I was a kid, really. Do you know what I mean? One time my mum bought a TV for us after we come back from Coventry from my grandma's yard. Started bugging her for a telly and that. And she bought us a little cheap thing with with the antennas on the top and that. And then one day she was trying to call us in it, and we didn't come, so she came and took the TV, took it off the table, plugged it out the wall, walked to the front of the living room. We had a little balcony, little thing outside the window, big French windows, She opened up the thing. She dashed the TV out the window in front of us. My mum didn't rant, man. My mum was mad still. When I say mad, I mean that in a...
I bet that taught you.
Pardon?
That taught you to listen next. That taught you to listen next time.
Not really. Not really. Just buy another.
Yeah. Yeah, for real, for real. So let's talk about your brand, because I know you've got your brand that's come out. It's a dope brand, but I want you to tell the people, how did you come up with it? When did it all begin for that?
Yeah. So OLDB. People keep on, like, for years people have been saying Old B, and I'm not gonna stop them. But at the same time, like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to let people know the only reason why you don't know that it's abbreviated is because Instagram won't let me put dots in my name. You get me?
Okay.
Basically,
Yeah.
it's an acronym. Yo, see my brethren Mark, one of my t-shirts.
Yo.
He's ironing. I just washed it, but still, that's what I'm gonna design.
Yeah.
Yo, Mark, say bless to the people then.
Good evening, my name is Mark Anthony. I will be playing the role of Ego Ras in the future. Yeah?
Okay, I like that. Bless up. Yeah, man.
Now, just say for moral support, you're not going to hear too much from me.
Yeah. This is one of
Okay.
I'm wearing one of my things now as well still. But
Yeah, I like that one.
yeah.
I like that one.
It didn't start with the clothing though. Basically, as you know, I've been being creative for a very long time. And
100%.
I start doing this and I start doing that and I start doing this again. And it's like now I'm doing like loads of different things. And it's like I have to think of a way to bring it all together into one. So I thought to myself, well, I'm just going to create a brand then, innit?
Okay.
So like, say, when it comes to OLDB, basically stands for Original Lionheart Die Hard Branded. Do you know what I mean? Like,
okay. Yeah.
saying like, if I create it, or say, even if I was, say if I was a record label and I had other people with me and that, whatever comes out of this creative force or whatever comes out of this creative house, it gets branded Original Lionheart Die Hard, pan your forehead. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I've split it into, so there is, but like it's not really, like, it's not out there yet, but there's gonna be OLDB music. This is my comic books are OLDB comics, and so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? So basically, OLDB is just basically the staple, and just puts everything, different things together. So that's but what it represents. So I came up with this thing, and you know what? It took, like, I came up with the idea to build a brand at university before the end, when I was thinking about what I was going to do. And then I couldn't think of a name. I couldn't think of what I was going to call it. So, but I found our old drawing. So, you know, the logo that I've got on my OLD page, my main logo?
Yeah.
I actually,
nice.
I drew that original picture in secondary school. But it was like, so I drew a version of it, and I liked the concept, but I didn't like how it turned out. So I got obsessed with it, drew it again, and I drew it again, and then I come up with a final one. But I didn't, like, it was just a piece of art at the time. I didn't think I was going to do anything with it. I didn't know what I was going to do with it. It was just, but I saved my art. Like, I've traveled and I've moved and I've done this and I've done that, but I always keep at least one folder of my old artwork with me. Do you know what I mean? Like, I get kicked. I could keep in with it. I could live in a girl's house and she's kicking me out. She can burn my clothes. If I don't leave with that folder, it's wahala for everyone. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So one day I'm going through my stuff when I moved into my new yard, and that picture fell out, and I was like, that's the picture. That's the one. Do you know what I mean? Like, use that. But basically, I knew I wanted to do something around the word lion. And about a week straight, I'm walking around. I was in Streatham one time, coming back from my mum's yard with one of my exes, and I walked past the Something Heart pub. No, I walked past the Lion pub or something like that, and then I walked a couple of steps down the street and I saw the British Heart Foundation, and then, you know what I mean? Like, all these little, like, the universe keeps on showing lions and hearts, and you know what I mean? And then Like, so somewhere along the line, I managed to come up with this concept: original, Lionheart, Die Hard, branded. And
Yeah.
what it means is original means, you know, to be yourself. You get me? Like, one thing that I love about
Yeah.
you are you. You get me? Nobody can't mistake you for you. You're original. But for in order in this treacherous and wicked world that we live in order to be original, you have to have a lion heart.
Yeah. 100%.
And you can't be too soft about it because somebody will knock your confidence. So you have to be a die hard. You
Yeah.
get me? In your own originality. So to be original, you have to have a lion heart, and it's got to be hard to kill. And I also loved the movie Die Hard when I was a kid. So like, you know, it all makes sense. You get me? The original lion heart, Die Hard. From you know that you're that, brand it. You know what I mean? So that's the thinking behind the thing. You get me?
Yeah, man. It's deep. It's a deep concept, and that's why I think like I had to get you on this interview to talk about your kind of progress, because you've been constantly transitioning. Even the fact that you moved up to London, you know, and I wanted to know about that. Was that so you could progress or move forward? Was Coventry not doing it for you? Like, what made you want to do that?
To be honest, yeah, like, and I'm gonna keep it real with you. You get me? Like, to be honest, it's
Yeah.
literally because at the time, I don't know, like, I'm seeing, like, I see what City of Coach is doing now. I'm in touch with you. I'm in touch with Ras Emmanuel, and where, like, there's a lot
Yeah.
of things that people are putting on for the youths now. You know what I mean? Like, there's that, like,
Yeah.
certain things are blowing up. But when I was younger, blood. After basically, when I was in the theatre, they
Yeah.
part of the Black Youth Theatre, and they
Yeah.
proper paraded me. They put me in the papers every 2 minutes. They gave me all these opportunities. But remember, it's about numbers. It's about, you know, ticking certain boxes. Do you know what I mean? So by the time I got to the age of 18, 19, I was too old for the program. But
Okay.
you've already loaded me up with knowledge on how to write scripts, with performance knowledge, all of these things. But I couldn't find an opportunity nowhere as a creative person. Do you know what
Yeah.
I mean? So I slipped down bare different directions. Like, I was in the job centre. I was doing, like, I sold a bit of weed for a bit, and even a bit more, but let's not incriminate myself. You know what I mean? Like, I always knew what I wanted to do, but at the time, it was a thing where when you're telling people, oh, I want to make a movie, or, oh, I want to make a comic book, there's a couple man, I was saying, man like Fred, that used to do Roots TV. My dog, man, I forget his surname, right? But he knows he'll know that I shouted him out eventually. But like, there's a couple man that was on to doing what I was doing, but
Yeah.
there was just no help. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even still, I've done, like, by that time, I'd already done, like, my own little, I tried my own little record label thing that was called GTM. We did some nights in a skate bar by Pool Meadow and all of that.
Yeah.
You get me? I've recorded a lot of the man them that, you know, was spitting my age. Like, you know, now as an older guy, for a lot of people, like, you don't know it at the time, but I was incredibly advanced. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? But I was incredibly frustrated, and
Okay.
you know what I mean? Like, it was a thing where one of my uncles was seeing what I was dealing with. I had a lot of stuff going on. There's always shit going on with me. But, like, one of my uncles turned around to me and said, Dan, like, you should go to uni. But I'd already been to uni. I went to Coventry Uni and I dropped out. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
because I was in the mix of everything, you know what I mean? And my nan was down the road, and I didn't want to leave her because she wasn't well and stuff like that. But, like, from my nan gave me the release code card. That uncle was looking after my nan instead of me. So
Okay.
he basically encouraged me. He was just like, Dan, like, I can see what you're doing, fam, but you can't do it here right now. And he was encouraged me to go back to uni. So I decided to go to uni in Kingston. I went to Kingston University. Not really to get a degree, but really, I never had no money to move anyway. But if you're getting student loans, Do you know what I mean? Like, then it kind of works out.
Yeah.
And then furthermore,
Yeah.
another reason why I went uni as well is I couldn't afford a Mac. I've got a MacBook now, but like I wanted it's one of those things. You know what I mean? And I knew that if I got to
Yeah.
university,
Yeah.
at least I'll be able to use one. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I had
Yeah.
Eagle Rest was already Eagle Rest at this time was like about at least 115 pages of drawings. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I went to uni with Eagle Rest. So my idea thinking of going to uni really was, all right, cool. I need the opportunity, but when you see this movie that I'm talking about, I wanted to film it in cover. I was in the paper one time. Yo, fam, send me the backy, please, bro. I was in the papers one time because I found this guy from the Neaton who said he wanted to who said he would direct my thing. Like somebody that I knew at the theatre put me in touch with that guy. I'm not going to mention his name because I don't respect him. But anyhow, he basically came on board and was saying that he was going to help me. He was going to direct for me. And to be fair, like he taught me some things. We went location hunting. We were going to do some bits in Wykin and some bits in Hillfields, and even found some place like Bedouth and the Neaton that we can use. Like he started showing me how to look for locations. But the thing is, he wanted to do his thing with no money. Whereas if I know what my work is, you get me, like, I'm going to need a budget. So, like, if I'm going to have something like you on board, then really I'm expecting you to be able to know where to get what I can't get. But we did auditions and everything, man. We was in the Neaton doing auditions. People came from the short guy with the shotgun at the start of that's chasing Flash down in one day. I forget his name now from Birmingham. He came and auditioned. Your cousin was there. Your cousin was there. Trust me. Ask your cousin about them times there, man. I was moving and popping. Your cousin drove me down there in the Bimmer and that, holding auditions and that. We had a reading. We had a reading at the Belgrade, and all of that. But my man, like, he just weren't doing it. Do you know what I mean? So and really, you know what? Hear the joke. He was trying to angle because my uncle had did his autobiography a couple years before. He knew about my uncle Errol. So he was trying to pattern me. He was really trying to angle his way around to get the rights to, like, he wanted me to introduce him to Uncle Errol and rah rah rah. Like, he's all like, you know, when you're working with somebody and you know they want to work with you, but really they want to work with the guy behind you.
Yeah.
Kind of vibes, innit? So I cut him off, innit? I cut him off. You get me? But like, obviously that still left me with, like, that was the only person that really I could find that would come and go out of their way to do certain things. You get me? So, you know, it's just basically for what I had at the time and what I needed to do at the time. Coventry is a small place, and there's nothing wrong with that. I love Coventry to death, and I will always love Coventry. And blood, I was raised there. My people are there. You're there, and you guys show me like the most respect. But I was also born, like I said, I was born in London as well, and I didn't have my mum. I didn't know where my mum was. I didn't know where my father was. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've found where they was. So when I was at university, I came to university basically to learn how to finish off what it is that I started. Do you know what I mean? Also try and see if there's more people that I can find to help me with what I'm doing. Do you know what I mean? To try it. Basically, I could have gave up. You get me? I was just like, you know what? I'm not even gonna give up. You know, I'm just gonna try a next thing. You get me? I'm just gonna try. You know what I mean? Like that's how I am. That's what it is. That's what it was about. You get me?
The heart of a lion, yeah.
Heart of lion. You get me? And sometimes,
definitely.
No Lion King in that. Sometimes man have to just venture into the jungle, fam. You get me, car? Get me? It's just the time. It's the time. 100%. When I see what Coventry's doing right now, it makes me feel very happy. I remember when I came back to Coventry for a weekend. I bumped into Sherelle the same day. One of the first times I went Fargo Village. I was like, how did I move to London, where Camden is, to come back to Coventry? to find Camden. Where was Camden? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what Fargo reminded me of, you get me, like, and a couple had units in there and rare. You know what I mean? Like, so it was a good time, you know, but that's that really anyway.
For real, for real. Big up Penology, he's locked in, big up yourself. Said love to us both.
Word knowledge.
Yeah, man.
You.
You know, the other day, you know, I was looking and I seen some videos of you in a gallery. And I wanted to know about that. Where did that all happen?
What, with this picture, one of these pictures, this kind of...
Yeah, man. I seen like a couple of pictures and you were telling, like, I think it was like 2018 and you did now as well.
It was 28.
And it was a vibe.
Yeah, that was my first ever art exhibition, that was. So
Okay.
when I dropped Eagle Ras, I wanted to celebrate it, obviously, but I also wanted to, like, you know, I need to put it somewhere where people can see it. Like, you know, when you create things, you get me, you got, like, being a creative is great, but if you ain't got management, you ain't got a team around you, then you got to do everything. So that means that you got to it, you got to do this, you got to do that, rah, you get me? So luckily, I was living in Deptford at the time, and these people opened up this place called Deptford Does Art. Just a little kind of gentrified-ish little place, you get me, like in the middle of Deptford Market. But the people them in there were all right. Well, the husband was anyway. And basically what they have is down in the basement, they let that space free, but any artist can just use that space for free. For like, you book it in, rah, and you can use it for X amount of time. So I was living down there and I noticed what they were doing. So I went in there and said, yo, can I do a thing? Because I just dropped my book. So basically what I did is they let me use the spot, and I did a launch basically, and they ran the art gallery for like a week, and then it got extended for like another 3 weeks because somebody else dropped out. But basically I went and bought, so I bought a bunch of my books that you can sell in there. Before then, I'd already experimented with doing some clothing before. So hang on, bear with me a second, I want to show you something.
Alright, cool.
So this is the last remaining, this is the original jacket that I printed in Nottingham. My company, Nottingham, you get me? This is the original varsity jacket. You get me? I had a box of them that I hadn't fucking sold. I gave some away to a couple of brethren. I sold some here and there, but they were just really just sitting there in a box in the bottom of the wardrobe. So like, I took them down there, hung them up in the shop, and basically I got loads of prints done of this key pages from the book that I thought were actually works of art. You know what I mean? Like, and we just hung it all up in there, did a launch night, and it just ran, like, it was just open to the public. People go in there, you know, drink their tea, drink their wine, whatever, they venture downstairs, they come in, they come out. And I managed to sell out all of those clothes that I put in there that has been sitting in the bottom of my wardrobe. Somebody lifted one of my jackets, you know.
What? Mad.
Some nondescript Caucasian lady in a long black jacket, because we saw, like, they played me the footage, you get me? So obviously she's walked in like she don't even look dodgy and that. Yo, she walked off with my she walked off with one of my jackets. Now obviously I could take that as, oh, somebody stole from me, but I was actually kind of like impressed. I was like, my thing's good enough that somebody wanted to teeth it.
That's what I'm saying. Mad.
That's a good feeling still. Yeah, I got, like, somebody tried, like, I made money anyway, but somebody shoplifted my shit. I took it as a compliment.
Okay.
But
you know what? Somebody just put me a question and said, would you drop some bars? They want some grime flavor, man.
Some bars? No, I'm not ready for bars right now. Let's do some. Maybe I might drop a bar, maybe like towards the end in it, but not yet.
They just asked me.
You know
what? Penology said, wow, they robbed you.
Yeah, they rob, man, still. They rob the thing still. But at the same time, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes, you know, niggas be robbing sometimes, you get me? Like, things get teeth sometimes, you get me? Like, you know what I mean? Like, literally, that was probably, of all of the things, it was a successful thing. But, like, of all of the things that happened, I will never forget that somebody thought my shit was sick enough that they're gonna shoplift it. You know what I mean? That's how I knew I was onto something.
Yeah. And you know what? Another thing that I thought was just a blessing for yourself was that you've got your comic in a shop, from what I could see on Facebook and that.
Yeah. Well, that was a recent thing. I should have did that time ago. I would have been doing that a long time ago, but the pandemic thing slowed down, innit? Because obviously everything, all the non-essential shops and that were closed. Do you know what I'm saying? So really, the plan was to be doing that from ages ago. But obviously, I managed to. I met doing the comic thing's funny because like there is a community of people that are actually like comic book nerds, like literally that, you know, there's a community of them. And because I won that competition where I did the book with the story about my mother in it, you know, I got to meet more people that are actually in what we would call the comic world or the comic industry. You get me? Like, there's not a lot of us there, but I come there and niggify the place every chance I get. But I went to some comic book event and I met a guy called Vittorio. He's one of the guys that works in Mega City Comics in Camden, which is where you saw me put the books in. Well, I met him, his brother, and I think it's his father. He said it's not, but I'm sure maybe we're confusing somebody. But anyhow, so I said to them, that was like 2 years ago in South Bank Centre. I said about 2 years ago, I'm going to bring some books there. Like I was, you know, just talking with them casually, and they like me, I like them. And I was like, yeah, cool. Because I've been to the shop before. That's how I even recognized them. You know what I mean? One time I was with one of my exes and I went in there and I saw this book. Yo, I'm going to find this book, yeah. Mark, I'm begging you. Look on there and see if you find, it's right there with the rest of the comics. It's called Scotland Yardie. So, Eagle Rass ain't finished yet, yeah. It's a blue thing. And I'm thinking I'm the only one on the planet that's made like a British comic book with with somebody with dreadlocks on the cover. Blue with the comic. Comics with the comic paper. Yeah, it's a blue one still with yellow writing. See it, yeah. See it there? Yeah. Send it down, yeah. Yeah, so I walked into the shop in it. And obviously, I'm kind of shopping around because I do like comics, but I'm also like, I'm putting the thing because I know I'm going to drop a comic. You know what I mean? Like, give thanks. And I look around here and I see this. Can you see it?
Yeah, well, okay.
It's called.
I like that.
It's called Scotland Yardie by a guy called. But it's funny as hell, man. Like I recommend anybody who's so inclined, check it out. By a guy called Bobby Joseph and Joseph Samuels. I think Bobby Joseph is Caribbean. He's black. And Joseph Samuels black. These are elders, like Joseph Samuels. I come to find later on, he's one of the elder break dancers from London. You get me? But he's an artist.
Okay.
But yeah, I saw that. I got in contact with them lot, and that's how Bobby Joseph is actually a guy. He does lectures and stuff about representation in comics and stuff, and he was the one that put me in that competition. I totally lost which direction I was going in. By the way, that will happen.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah.
Wow.
You get it.
Yeah, man.
But yeah. Oh,
yeah,
about the shop. You was asking me about the shop. So yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, I made the links through getting to know a few people that are actually doing similar things to me. And so when I got my latest batch of books, me and my said brethren here, Mark, we took a couple down there. I took some Melon Barker scrolls and I took some Eagle Rasses because they told me they'd stop the book in it. You get me? So it's a long time coming, but I pulled up and he was right. Like he did what he said he was going to do. And yeah, the Melon Barker scrolls is in Mega City Comics in Camden. And they ordered 5 more, so I just put 5 more in there. So like I'll just put it in there. You know why it's in there as well? Because I know that it's one of the most. It's a small place. When you look at it, you can walk past it and really assume. But if you're into comics, you'll know where that is in London. You know what I mean? So you're gonna get a lot of it's a nice place to have it in. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
I'm gonna get random people, and the thing is with me, I'm always using my social media. I'm always using, or I'm like, I might just pop up on the roadside and sell it to you direct. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's nice to have it.
Yeah.
It's nice to have it in a place where other people, other eyes, just random people can come in and out, and if they like it, they like it.
Yeah.
Pick up, they buy it. You know what I mean? So you get me. It's saying all the time, man.
Somebody just
Yeah, go on.
somebody just asked, what type of artist would you call yourself? King Guy, bless up.
Yeah, that's a good question, but I also think it's not a good question. I just call myself an artist, flat out.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm. A lot of people might know. People who know me know that I'm quite unconventional. You get me? Like, I've seen and experienced certain things, and I'm on a journey. You know what I mean? Like, and everybody's on their journey, so I tend not to. I don't have to, like, you go through your phases I'm gonna say as a man, yeah, you go through your phases. You're a boy, you're a Power Ranger, you're a fucking, you know what I mean? You're a dinosaur. Then
Yeah.
you're a this, then you're a footballer, then you're a that, then you're a this, then you're a bad man, then you're a gangster, then you're a Kat-a-lyst, then you're a that. I'm an artist, just dead. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I had to go through I had to go through a process of simplifying things. But say if I called myself a conscious artist now,
Yeah.
that means I can't make gal tune about pum pum if I feel like it, or I can't say something when I'm vexed, or I can't, you know, I've got to keep that same thing all the time. Whereas
Yeah.
if I say I'm a gangster rapper now, then that means that I've got to talk gangster stuff all the time, all the time.
Yeah.
Like, whereas me, I literally, like, I'm writing my own gravestone. I just want my art to represent who I was as a person while I was here. And that sounds morbid, but I've buried a lot of people recently. Do you know what I mean? So I don't really like classifying myself. If there's anything that I know that I've been since I was a baby till now that has been consistent in my life is an artist. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
That's if sometimes I don't even know what the hell I am, but I know that I can say I'm an artist. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Somebody just, the same guy, King Guy, bless up to you. He said that's not a good answer. It's an amazing one.
Give thanks, yeah. Man. Give thanks, man. I'm glad that you accept that answer, good car. I don't really. I'm not really pretentious. Do you know what I mean? Some people sometimes like everybody's got their own wisdoms and that. You get me? But like,
Yeah.
you know, when you go through certain realities, you begin to realize that a lot of people's wisdoms is based on their perceptions and their experience of the world and who you've met and what you've done.
Yeah.
You've been. If you're only really in one place your whole time, all you really know is that one environment.
Yeah.
Whereas
100%. Yeah.
me, like, I've been in the wilderness. You get me, like, for a while. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like, who am I in all of these spaces? What gets me around? How do I connect with people? What kind of people do I connect with? I'm an artist.
Yeah.
You get me? So, man, bless I question though.
Yeah, man. You know what? Tell us about your website. I want people to go and check out your stuff, look at your website. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I just recently, like, I started it a couple of years ago, but I wasn't confident about it, so I flopped it. But I reopened it about 4 months ago, and
Okay.
no, not 4 months ago. That's a lie. That's like it feels like 4 months ago, but it's really about 2 months ago. And basically, I just restarted something that I already set, because when you go back into the thing, it's like my stuff that I designed before is still there. But yeah, it's called the OLDB store, so it's oldbstore.com. And basically, you see the t-shirts that we were showing just now. Yo, bring that again.
Yeah.
Yo, fam, bring that again. Bring that again. Yeah, you see what I'm wearing here?
Yeah.
That
I
one,
like that one that you've got on.
yeah. And this one, the lighting's not too good on it still.
It's
Yes,
a lion on top of a heart.
lion heart thing. You get me, like, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Let me get them the
Oh yeah, the logo.
original lion heart, die hard branded.
It's always stamped. You know.
Yeah,
what I'm
that's
saying?
on the
Like,
back. That's on the reverse.
Yeah.
I swear,
Yeah, man, I like that.
I swear this one, nah, the one that Sherelle bought has got the label in it. I got the thing on the back as well. You get me? But
Yeah.
basically the idea behind that is like, you know, I sometimes I just do random drawings and they're just sat there. You know what I mean? Like, or I might have an idea to do a drawing, but like, you know, when you do comics, you always draw
Yeah.
a character, and obviously I've built a world in my head in the comics, and sometimes I might want to do some art that's just different. And if I find it good enough, if I think it's good and it means something to me, I would like to be able to slap it on some clothes.
Yeah.
Sell it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm an entrepreneur still. I'm an entrepreneur artist. You get me? Like, I really don't really want to be trapped in any terrible contracts or working, slaving for the rest of my life. Like, you get me? Like, I put my hand to anything I think I can do. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
this is just me doing that again. And also, while I'm bubbling these things, you get me? Like, I don't have no financial backative like that. I don't have no investors, no angel investors. So I've got to be clever about how I make the money to be able to do the other things that I'm doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel to myself like, all right, cool. Somebody might like my art, but not necessarily be into comic books. Maybe they're into clothes. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like,
Definitely.
yeah. Who said that? Stella. Savvy. Like,
Jesus.
in Jesus.
Yes.
Yeah. It is he. It is he. He is Debout. Brixton Messiah is Debout. That's what they call Mark still. Mark has got his own. He's got his own page on Facebook, and that was literally like, it's jokes, man. If you want to get jokes and that, he gets banned every 5 minutes, but like, you know, it's
I'm in
worth
Facebook jail right now.
literally, fam. Literally. He watched this, but he's in jail. But yeah, I forgot what we were saying now. That was funny.
We were talking about your website.
Yeah. So basically, it's merchandise, basically, but it's not. It's more.
Okay.
It's more than merchandise, really. I've got music coming out, and I'm trying to make sure that I do it in a certain way, which is that where I am in life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, when I was a kid in Cov, you know, we used to go to the studio and we used to try record, and get out the studio with the song. Do you know what I mean? Like, because you know, like, it could get deleted or raw, and you want to put it on social media real quick or whatever. But like, as I've grown and I've progressed, it's like I value the process of making music. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So a lot of people from Cov, like, I've had a couple of my Cov brethren say, I didn't know you still make music, you know. Of course you don't, because I ain't put music out in ages. Do you know what I mean? Like, but I have music, but I want it, when it comes out this time, it has to be
proper.
It has to be ready for the radio. It has to be like, I'm not really trying to put out no music that ain't going to be taken seriously. So while working on the music, I'm basically working on the things that are going to be around the music.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
100%.
Like,
Yeah.
if I'm gonna bust in any way, so basically, if somebody's into comics and they read the comics and they look in the back of the comic, they're gonna see that the author of this comic makes music. Somebody likes my music and is into comics, and they see some animation, or if I put some promo for Eagle Ras in the music video, they're gonna be like, that guy there, not only does he have bars, but he makes comics. And
that's cool, man.
Also, it's like, oh wait, not only does he make comics, he's got a website where he sells clothes and he's got artwork on there. Like, it's me trying to bring the brand together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, I made the website, and like I've got my own. I'm wearing my own stuff. I'm feeling the sample. It's worth the money.
Yeah.
Good material. It feels good on the skin. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm not selling people just junk with my art on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just, you know, that's.
So, Dan, can I just say one thing quickly?
Yes, fam.
All right. I need to come in and I need to let people know this is Mark Anthony from Brixton, aka Brixton Jesus. Okay.
The Messiah.
And I need to let my people them know I'm not just here to provide moral support. I support my brother, but when your people them are doing things, yeah, if you support them, put your hand in your pocket and buy something. You understand?
Yeah.
Of
100%.
the mystical legend of Ego Ras, because I had to do research on the part that I'm going to play. Yeah. And also have a copy of Melon Barker Scrolls, and I refused a discount. I refused it.
Nah, true. We did do that still.
Yeah.
You understand? Because we support our people. That's what to say.
Yeah.
And I'm out.
Yeah, man, definitely.
It's watching you.
Brixton Jesus is watching you.
So mind what you're doing, because I see and hear everything. All right.
Okay.
Here's the joke as well, yeah. When we were kids, we lived in Brixton. Me and Mark have been friends for a long time. More on Facebook, but we linked up. This is like the first time I've had a best friend that could have grew round the corner. One of my best friends, you get me, like that could have literally we could have grew up round the corner from each other.
Facts.
So it's a good link up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%. So, you know, with that now, people are gonna ask. Okay, first of all, they're gonna ask, when is the music coming out? As you know, people want to know. Sisters in Dub, big respect. I know that Chevral and Daniela D, they're out there sending fire and love. Big up James, the artist. Big up yourself, sending fire and love as well.
Can I pull you up for a second? You see this guy, James, the artist, yeah? Me and him went to school together. He was a year above me, blood. There would be no bars without James, the artist, fam. He took me to his house and showed me Channel U. My nan would not buy Sky. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We had 5 channels.
Yeah.
He was the one that used to talk. We used to battle rap. Like, you know, like when 8 Mile came out and that, me and him, there was like a cipher of us in the playground. And it was like me, Jigga, Sam. Jigga, remind me Sam's surname. You know who Sam is. Like, we were like, I swear, like, I'm not, Jigga, if I'm lying, tell them in the comments, yeah? We were the top battle rappers, blood. Like, me and James fell out about 3-4 times because we were clashing. Do you know what I mean? Like, when I say there would be no bars without Jigga, that's what we used to call him at school.
Yeah.
There would be no, you get me? And he's been a constant, he is a constant, he always checks in on me and my creativity. You know what I mean? Like, there's never been a year where Jigga ain't been there to make sure or to check what I'm on when it comes to barring, you know what I mean? When it comes to my creativity, get me, like. So I mean, he was instrumental behind why I come up with the brand, the OLDB thing, because he was the one who kind of showed me that, bruv, you do art, you do this, you do that, you technically, what you have here is a world. You have an immersive experience. You know what I mean? Like, if I do an event, an OLDB event, believe there's going to be music, but also believe there's going to be artwork, there's going to be visuals, there's going to be all sorts of things for your senses to take. You know what I mean? Like, so, you get me? Like, I just wanted to big up Maya Don True Say. It's good to see you pull up, fam.
Yeah. Okay. American accent in full force.
American accent? Do I sound American? I don't think I sound.
I don't know.
Or is she talking about Jigga? I don't know, man. Yo, elaborate on that. I'm confused.
Yeah, you know what? You guys have to explain what you mean now. American accent.
You'll put the sweaty laughing face on it like I have no idea what that meant.
You know, what's next for you, Dan? You know, you've got so much happening, so much going on. What can the people look forward to from yourself?
More of the same, man. More of the same.
Yeah.
Just more of the same, fam. Like, obviously, I can't tell you a specific date at this present moment in time. I will keep you, Kat, in touch about when my music's gonna drop. But obviously, like I said, it's it's in the garage, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
really, music, fam. The next thing, once I've solidified this foundation, well, I've already solidified the comic foundation to a degree. There's always more work to do. You know, the shop is open. You get me, like, so that's kind of sorted. The next thing now, I still want to make my movie. Don't get it twisted, but I've got patience for that. But I suppose what's next for me is to really just drop some music with some good. Oh yeah, when everybody used to rap in an American accent. Yeah. Them days. This is big, bro. You're from Peckham, but yeah, man. Like really, what it is, I'm just trying to be patient. I'm just trying to bide my time and like make sure that my music's up to scratch. And
Yeah.
you know, like really this year, hopefully by summer, I want to have at least one EP out and one video
Okay.
or two videos.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I mean, it when you hear people that are signed when they're on like the Breakfast Club, they say, "Yeah, I got music coming out." It sounds so simple, blood, but I've got good people around me. But really, it's
Yeah.
this is a one. I'm literally a one-man band at the moment. You know what I mean? Like, so when I say that, I mean creatively. So you know, I've got my brother. I've got one of my older brothers now. You might know him, Ras Ashaba. You know what I mean? He's big with the music and that. So I'm basically just being patient, waiting for my nephew to be free with the other project for his father, so he can help
Yeah.
me finalize some of my tunes. And then I'm going to get them mastered. Obviously, I just want a solid. I want when I come out, I'm coming out blasting. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not none of this no mediocre thing. Like I'm thinking about rollouts. I'm thinking about how I'm gonna promote. I'm thinking about how and what tunes do I want to do videos for, which one sounds like a single, which one can, you know what I mean? Like that's where I'm at right now. You get me? I'm still, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Processing it all.
Yeah, but really, like, what's next for me is just more of the same, plus banging music.
Okay. Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to you dropping your releases. I'm looking forward to what's next for you because I can see some massive things happening. You're already doing some amazing things, and I can just see it growing and growing.
Well, you know what? It's nice, man. You know what? Like things like this are very encouraging, and like I got a big up Coventry again, car. You know, like I'm not gonna lie, a lot of my support and a lot of people that check in on me, and then like Sherelle was one of the first people to buy one of my t-shirts, all of them thing there. Like Cov shows me love big time, and obviously like, do you know what it is as well? Yeah, one of my brethren, you did a podcast the other day, and it slipped out of his mouth that Dan ain't Cov anymore, and I was like, why? Because he lives out of town. His little brother corrected him. Still, he corrected him, but it's like. Do you know you have certain men don't know have any idea what it's like being a random Cov nigger in the middle of London. We have Coventry people have a certain way of doing things and a certain way of. Do you know what I mean? Like that is like, you know, I'm a bit of a hybrid in it. Like I've moved around a lot, like, but at the same time, like, bruv, everybody here knows where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody here knows where I was raised. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so you get me. The love, like, I don't stop loving things. I don't stop loving people. I don't stop. You get me? Like, some people, when we were kids and that, people used to move. People used to be in different places, and like because nobody knew where Coventry was at the time, they always say next to Birmingham. You know what I'm saying? Like, blood. Coventry's doing bits, and ever since I've been here, blood, they say, "Where are you from, blood?" I say, "Coventry with fucking chest." Where's that accent from? Cov, blood, Radford, TV6. Fuck, you know about that?
Yeah, big up. Same as me, Radford. That's where I grew up, Radford area.
Yeah, TV6, but don't get it.
Yeah, man.
That's my grandma's end. You get me?
Okay. Yeah, man.
Jubilee, Crescent, Tesco's, all them businesses there.
Same as me.
Hill Farm Primary School, Blue Coat Secondary School. Do you know what I mean? Like, yo, fam.
Yeah.
Bethel United,
Mad.
St George Eliot Road, but don't get it twisted, fam. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there.
Somebody just messaged me and asked how can they link you. So they want to know your socials. They want to know how they can connect with you.
Well, we're on one social here, and then
Yeah.
basically, if you follow me on here, it will lead you everywhere else. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've got a pattern like that, man. Like literally, because even doing this online store, you gotta learn how to link your store to your Instagram. That's why if you go onto my Instagram, onto OLDB official Instagram, you can actually buy literally off of the page. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I've been doing techie, I've been doing the unglamorous stuff behind the scenes for a while. You get me, like that nerdy stuff. Where's my glasses? You see me, like the hair just. Do you know what I mean? Like, and then I get ants in my pants and go out and get wavy. Do you know what I mean? Like, but you get me, like if you follow this page and you read the bio, it'll take you everywhere. I'm on Twitter, but to be honest, I've never really got along with Twitter. I don't really know how. Instagram for me, I would say, and I would say to anybody who's doing anything with visuals and videos and what, Instagram is my playground right now still.
For real.
Facebook's good, but Instagram is my playground right now, you get me? Like, because you see, everything that I do is visual, so it's all about, you know, the pictures and rare. So if I do a drawing or I do an animation or what, you know, like, and also Instagram's a thing where you're more likely to find random complete strangers come and, you know, they just discover you somehow and whereas with Facebook, you're kind of limited to your friends group. You get me? Like, I learned about a year or 3 ago that, like, obviously my book's there and I got support, I've made money, people have spent their money with me, but it's like, it's people that I've, like, it's not necessarily all people that I've known, but when it's through Facebook now, or through your own, your 2,000, 3,000 followers, whatever you've got, that is basically so say if you got 2,000 followers, maybe 1,500 of them like your posts. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But maybe if you're lucky, like 700 of them actually put their hand in their pocket and buy what you're selling. If you're lucky. That's not to be taken personal. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, you know, support is good, but you really want customers. You know what I mean? Because I do this for the love, but I need money. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not like blood, like niggas still got to pay for the thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you begin to realize that you always need to keep venturing out and introducing more and more people. You always got to be, you know what I mean? Like, because you can't depend on just your core base. It's good to have them, and sometimes when you meet people, they funnel into your core base. I mean, like, if they're really feeling it, then they will join on to the people that, you know, they're riding their weight, they're literally waiting for your next thing. Do you know what I'm saying? Some people are spectators. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong either way, you get me, Carl? We don't pressure people over here for nothing. But at the same time, when you're trying to do this business or this entrepreneurial thing, you still have to be very aware of where your money's actually coming from. You get me? We don't do this for free. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. So, you know, we're coming to the last bit of the interview, and I wanted to kind of open it up to you for any kind of final word you want to say to the people, any final messages that you want to say.
I suppose, I don't know, man. All right, cool. What would I like to say? Because I could say a lot of stuff. I could go on for fucking hours if I wanted to. I'm going to tell you how to save the planet No, I'm not going to tell you that because I don't know, because I'm pretentious and I don't pretend to know. But
Yeah.
I would say though that like I'm a loving person, therefore, first of all, I love you, motherfuckers. Second of all, I would say, as my Uncle Errol said, there can be no retreat, no surrender. You get me?
Mm.
That means that
Yeah.
that's part of the ethos behind this OLDB shit. My Uncle Errol used to say that to me all the time. If you research my Uncle Errol, boxer, Errol Christie, he was a boxer.
Yeah. Yeah.
So so Google him, see if he exists, see if I'm waxing. But he always used to say to me when I was growing up, no, there can be no retreat, no surrender. So
Mm.
if you find something that you're on, and that's another thing why I appreciate you, I know you're gonna relate, is like when you find something that is you, no matter what go on, do the thing, man.
Yeah. 100%.
You get me? Like money comes and goes, girlfriends come and go, people don't like ya, people like ya. The fuck if the tables change again, but you know, like I said earlier, the one thing that stays consistent is what you're meant to do. I am meant to be an artist.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, man.
You feel me? You,
Yeah. Yeah.
DJ Cat, you're living on purpose. You get me? Remember, I've seen you before, and I saw we're community, so we see each other grow and develop. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
new people evolve into. You get me? When I look at you, I know 100% that you are on your purpose.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
For real.
And
Yeah.
me, even sometimes when I get confused or I get discouraged or I get robbed, one thing that I know is that's the lion heart saying, blood, stay on your thing, man. Especially
Yeah.
something that you know is supposed to be beneficial. You get me? My books, they're fun, but really there's a message for the youths in there. Like Eagle Rest is really, there's loads of stuff that it's about. I could go on for ages about what it's about. But really, I bought Eagle Rest to try and turn youths off of, you know, getting involved in certain things on the road. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and all of that. Like, even if you see me moving mad sometimes, like, there's, like, I've always got something going on in the back of my head why I'm doing what I'm doing. Because that's
Yeah.
what I am. I'm an artist and I'm a joker.
Mm.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I like,
Yeah.
I like a drink sometimes, but still, you know,
Okay.
and like that's me. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I gotta be me at all times. You know what I mean? Because that's the only thing that works. Every time you try,
100%.
every time I try and go this way and that way, I end up right back here.
Mm. Yeah.
That is
Definitely. For real.
that is what I will say. Take that, look at it, and take what you want from it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Definitely. You know what? This interview has been a blessing. You know, it's been encouraging. Lots of people have been messaging saying that they love your energy, they love your vibe, and just keep doing what you're doing. Like I said, since we've known each other, you just keep growing, developing, and just do what you're doing, man, because you're killing it.
It's
You're killing it, for real.
no, you know what's really nice about this as well? Obviously, like there's obviously the fact that I've known you for a while, and you're a bit younger than me, so I remember you when you didn't have the head wrap. I know what color your hair is, but
Yeah. Yeah.
it's nice. It's nice to know that there's people. Sometimes you can forget, you know. 'Cause remember, I'm in London. I'm not in Coventry. You get me? And obviously, like you're forging my way forward to whatever it is that I'm trying to do. But sometimes when you're doing this artist thing, especially when you're a little bit like me, where I'm sociable as hell, but I like to be alone a lot. Like
Yeah.
sometimes you can literally feel like nobody can't see what you're doing.
Mm.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You like
Yeah.
you can literally feel like, oh, I'm doing all of this, but for what? Nobody gives a fuck. So like to have
Yeah.
kind of conversation with you, knowing who you are and knowing that you know me as well on the platform, you get me? Like, you know, it's very like these things encourage me.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
I do think that sometimes us people sometimes like we see each other shine. Like I'm always sharing what other people do. How much times have I shared something that you're doing?
Yeah, loads.
Do you know?
Loads and loads. Yeah, man.
Because that's just the kind of man that I am. Like, if you win, I win in my head. Do you know what I mean? Like, but sometimes it doesn't necessarily always, like, you're reciprocating it. I don't always feel like it's reciprocal. Sometimes I think people think that I'm just some mad guy. Why is he doing that? Why is he doing this? Because I care.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
like,
100%.
and it's nice that, you know, some, like yourself, certain people are beginning to reach out and actually, like, you know, give me my flowers while I'm alive. And I'm gonna say that because blood, the amount of funerals I've been to in the past couple of years, fam, like, you get me? I'm gonna be Picasso or Tupac and like, you better fucking cop shit now. Because, you know, like, it's one of them, you get me? Like, I will be, if I ever do dead past, you get me? Like, I know people will remember me for certain things, but like, you know, it's nice to hear it while you're alive.
Yeah, 100%.
So we give thanks for that, you know what I mean? Like, always. Guys, it's love, it's family, you get me? Like, this is how we're supposed to treat each other. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's good, it's nice. I have to embrace it. If you'd have did this to me about 2 years ago, I'd have been blushing all over the place.
It's all good, man. People are putting peace. Sisters in Dub, blessings again. He ain't playing. That's true. That is definitely true. Somebody said that you're very interesting as an artist. They like listening to you.
Thank you. To be honest, some people think, like, I've had people say you should go live a lot, but you know what? Like, I get busy, and I'm just like, I'm not really ready to do all of that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm still in the laboratory right now. You know what I mean? Like, certain things that I'm watching how they live. I'm watching how they grow and develop. Like, Eagle Rest now has its own life. People have them in the house. You know what I mean? Like, he represents something else to somebody else now. He's like, you know, it's like, you know, he's like, I pushed my baby out into the world, and my baby is now a grown person doing its thing. You know what I mean? Like, so, you know, it's a mad thing, man. Like being an artist for me, but like, it's a mad thing, but it's my mad thing, and I love that mad thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because I am a living, walking mad thing. You know what I mean, man?
Yeah, well, maybe, but you know, we all love that. We love it.
Well, you ain't
So keep it up, man.
you ain't gonna get nothing different. Trust me. It's a lot of,
yeah, man, definitely.
yeah.
100%.
But I'll tell you,
man.
You know what? The speakers, them. I don't know what it's like on the phone. Somebody asked me to drop a bar earlier, but I don't want a bar. I want to give you a little snippet of one tune that I was working on.
Okay.
And I might move my head and my mouth along to it just for fun. What the heck? What folder is it in? Come here, fam. The first tune that popped up is not the tune that I'm gonna play. Yeah. Alright, cool. I wonder if this plays out the speaker. I muted the computer like Muta Baruka.
Okay.
Here we go. I don't know if you can hear it right. Say in the comments if you can hear it clear enough. If not, I'll just turn it off. Can you hear it all right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How's that? Trying to be good didn't do me any favors. Trying to be good didn't get me any dough. Trying to be good wasn't sitting in my nature. Trying to be good didn't get me any blows. Trying to be good couldn't see who they take it from. Trying to be good wasn't letting them know. Trying to be good can't always be a savior. Where you're cold, it's cold on the road. Trying to be good gets boring as hell, and staying too woke gets boring as well. I don't see life like it's always about already young, black, gifted, and sure of yourself. Less time for that and more for myself. Doing more of myself. I ain't trying to waste my thoughts on the hate. I'd rather go mad and talk to myself. I'm just trying to be the dad, not trying to be you. Can't laugh at me, you ain't crying with me too. Trying to understand, I'm trying to be huge. Who's this new guy? I'm coming through, and you should know that you can have a good time. Starting it, but still live in the new. Yo, trying to be good just ain't good enough. Trying to be good ain't enough for the love. Trying to be great now, pumping it up. Trying to be great now, someone I lost. Trying to be great though it comes to the cost. Trying to be good is too little, but greatness is good bad okay has to sever off. Trying to be great means come to the yard. Wipe your shoes at the door, take them off. Try to be great means come to the yard. Immediately remove your bra, take it off. Try to be great means come to the dance. I really got bars, come here, we spray them off. Try to be great means hands in your pockets, pay up. If you expect me to stay up, pay up. I'm just anyhow. That's
yeah, man. People are loving that one.
That's in the oven still. That's in the oven. You get me, like. But yeah. Them kind of things there. And remember, I make my own beats as well. You get me, like.
Yeah.
So like, you know, I do like blood. This is this is part of the reason why I'm slightly tapped, fam. I do everything.
Yeah.
You get me? Like,
man.
sometimes,
for real.
Sometimes you got a vision, and like. You tell people the vision, but they can't see it. So you have to at least show them something. You know, like even the animation thing. I don't really want to do animation. It's so long and laborious. I'll do it for money sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, but like me personally, with the amount of energy that I have, I find it hard to sit still for so long doing such. You know what animation? You get me? You got to draw it again and again and again, and you got to move the hand from here to there to there. You get me? Like, but I have to do. I have to do a bit of animation because I want people to see what Eagle Rash could be if I have a contract to have it done as a cartoon, like the Boondocks or something. But the only way I can get it in front of those people is for them to see that, oh shit, there's something there that we could actually invest in. So that's why sometimes it's like, and sometimes you ain't got money to be paying people to do stuff. So you learn it your damn self. You know what I mean? Like, so that's my ethos, you know what I'm saying? Like, until the day where I do get those contracts or I do get that team together, you get me? But right now, this is foundation building, you get me? I've got a song, on YouTube called Tall Buildings, Tall Building, on YouTube. It's under Millie D, that's my old name, Millidee, Tall Buildings, and I made that tune just before I left Coventry for university, and I filmed that video half in London and half in Coventry, but like that's what I came to London on, and I'm still on it. You get me? So
100%. So people go and check the tune out. They need to go and check the tune out.
Tall building. It's the chorus is like, no, I ain't begging to get into your tall buildings. Better make way, there's going to be some more buildings. I'm trying to put you onto this concept, it's called building. I'm trying to put you onto this concept, it's called building. You get me? That's the chorus still, you get me? Like, that's literally that's how I think.
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, I'm feeling that vibe, the energy. Like I said, people are loving the energy. Big up Soulful Eye as well. She says, yes, she agrees with you. You have to build up your own style. A big respect to her.
Give thanks for everybody who's locked in as well, man. Like, give thanks for listening to me ramble for God knows how long we've been on here for.
Nah, man, no rambling, man. You're all good.
Yeah, man.
You know what? It's been a blessing, and I thank you again for your time. The interview's been energy. People are loving it. And just keep doing your thing, like I said, man. Just keep growing.
Yeah, man. The thing's up for, man. It's bare up for energy, man. I send you and the rest of your family up for energies, man. You know, you know the thing already. You get me? Just up. You get me?
And you know for a fact, if you can pass through tomorrow, this is a doorbell in London, so come pass through if you can.
What about if? Yo, blood, if you play my mum's tune, blood, I'm gonna get arrested. I'm joking, blood. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, down there.
I got our next tune as well. The chorus goes, the harder we the harder we fell, the harder we came. No, we don't stay down. We stay up. No, we don't stay down. We stay up. No, we don't stay down. The harder we fell, the harder we came. No, we don't stay down. We stay up. No, we don't stay down. We stay up. No, we don't stay. Don't ever tell me to stay down, you know. Listen to me.
Yeah, man.
You get me?
Yeah. Blessings, man. Blessings. Every time. You know what? You look like you're going to have a blessed night. For real.
I keep on saying I'm going to have a quiet weekend, and my weekend just turns into... Any time I say I'm going to have a quiet weekend, but I'm guaranteed to get up to some madness. Some
okay.
Skanking, some raving, some something. You know what I mean? Like, Especially now that the sun's coming out, I got ants in my pants, man. I want James Brown and all sorts. You get me?
Yeah, for real. No problem, man. But it's been a blessing, and like I said, just keep doing your stuff. I'm gonna be any new tunes you got out there. Let me know. Definitely put them out there. You know that.
No, the second I drop some tunes, man, you'll be one of the first people to get the scoop. You get me?
Yeah, for real. 100%.
Love.
It's been a blessing, and you know what? I gotta play a tune for you, you know.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. You know that's for you, isn't it?
Me all day, fam.
Every time.
With
Yeah, man.
with chest. You get me? But
Yeah.
man, love,
For real.
man.
Anytime.
Thank you for giving me the. Thank you for inviting me for this interview, man. You get me?
Anytime.
It's good. It's good.
Anytime. You're always welcome.
Yeah.
Even your friend, you know,
Yeah,
like
man.
Jesus out there.
Jesus is my next. You get me, like. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yo, fam, tell them peace, man.
Oh,
Yeah, man. We're signing off.
yo, this is Brixton Jesus,
Yeah, man.
aka Mark Anthony UK on Instagram, signing out. You don't know.
You will find them right hand of his
Okay.
father.
Yeah, you don't know. Every time.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, then. Let's up, yeah?
Love.
Let's up.
Oh, hallelujah. Love.
Let's up.
Good night. Enjoy your night. Be safe.
Yeah, man. You too. Let's up. Yes, people, please do go out there, support Dan Christie, go and check him out. And of course,